Hey, welcome into A Cup of Hoops, sponsored by Synergy. I'm your host at Gasso Mass. I'm with at Gasso Blue, as usual. Let's talk a little house cleaning. If you haven't, we just dropped a Gasso Cast on our pre-live showcase last weekend. It was awesome. We will be talking different players here, a couple of the same, but by and large, we want to make this thing different. My Recruiting Simplified newsletter will be dropping tomorrow. It's called Relationships Matter, a coach and his son's D1 journey. I had a guy reach out to me and said, hey, I've got a great story for a lot of the stuff you're tweeting. And he basically told me, can I kind of give you my story of how staying staying connected to some of these college coaches actually worked out to him getting a D1 offer over the course of 3 or 4 years. It's 1 minute. It's delivered weekly to your inbox. Lastly, follow us on Twitter. Got our live event going next week. We are down to very few teams, so if you haven't signed up, might want to do that. Let's talk recruiting here, Blue. Why is marketing yourself so important?
Well, there's a lot of reasons. One, because that's the new way to do things. You have to be out in front of everybody else. When somebody doesn't want to do something, you got to be the guy that goes out there and speaks for yourself. We've talked numerous times that, hey, you got to be the one that's reaching out to coaches. You're the one that has to stay in front of their minds whenever they're on a court, going through recruiting information. You want to be that guy that they bring up in a meeting if they have or haven't seen you. And I think the one thing here that's important is that when everyone is competing for the same spot, that same roster spot that a college coach may have, it's easy to get lost in that shuffle like you have mentioned before, Mass. And the thing is that if you take in the time and be a 1%er, be able to get online, follow the steps of Recruiting Simplified, of sending out information and highlights to college coaches each and every day, you're going to get some type of feedback. And then also what's also going to help at this moment in time is what you do out on the court. Who you say you are as a player, is that what you're doing out there on the court to stick out? If you're not hitting the shots, are you rebounding? Are you defending? Control the things that you can control. Because we can't always go out there and hit 19-footers and 15-footers. Sometimes it's just not going to fall in. But the things that you can do is attack. Attack the basket for putbacks. Attack the basket for rebounds. Push the ball in transition. Make yourself and your teammates better.
Yeah, and I'll just expand on this. When Blue says be a 1%er, and what does that look like? I'm just going to give you a small example here. I get a lot of DMs. I truly try and answer them all. If I haven't answered yours, I'm sorry, but I genuinely try and go through and get to them all. And I'll tell you, I get a lot of DMs that are like, hey, coach, recruit me. And they haven't even taken the time to understand that I'm not a coach and that I just give out recruiting advice. It's unbelievable to me. And it's lazy. Quite frankly, I don't respond to those because I'm like, dude, you didn't even take the time to know that I'm not a coach. And you just send me your highlights. It's like, great, what do I do? What do you want me to do with this? I don't know who you are. You're not intriguing me. You're not giving me any reason to open. If you want to engage me, tell me how a tweet helped you or what you would do different. But that's just a perfect example. It's not about if you do it, the marketing, because most kids are doing it. It's about how you're doing it. And there is a proper way. So let me just tell you, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of where to start. Start on your social media. Clean it up, highlight short, make it look nice. Scour if coaches follow you. If they do, engage. If they don't, start reaching out to regional schools at the lowest division you are willing to play. Period, end of story. There's your master class in 5 seconds. Okay. Do something, be different, and stand out. Stand out. Don't be like, if it's easy, if it's too easy, say, I bet everybody else can do this. And they probably can. It's hard to separate yourself. So find a way to separate yourself. That's probably my biggest advice. All right. Let's talk players. We're going to do a little draft here, Blue. Don't make this bigger than it is. We didn't, these are dudes we would have loved to have played with or coached. It doesn't necessarily have to make sense why we pick our teams the way we do. Just some guys that we like, and we're going to shed some light on them. So, Blue, I'm going to take the first pick. How about that, huh?
Hey, let me just warn everybody. There's soccer in the background. It's summertime here at the Zertucci's, and I just heard one of my kids just scream. I don't know what happened. I'm sure somebody scores because in soccer, you only score once or twice in like 100 minutes. So
That's fair.
whatever you hear in the background, just go with it, guys.
Just go with it. And I think we are. All right, my first pick. I'm going to go here. Xavier Green, Drive Nation 16, the Colony. This dude is so steady. He can play on or off the ball. He's so athletic, so strong with the ball in his hands. Can put the ball in the court, and he runs a team of dudes. Like when it gets tight, we want Xavier with the ball in his hands because he's going to make the right decision. And he knows how to get guys to their spots and make it easy for his team. He plays with two of the best, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the best 2026s in the class. He keeps them happy. A lot of mouths to feed. Xavier's tough. He defends, knocks down shots, makes plays. No brainer here for me.
Just hearing you talk about him, you have to step in both arenas of the high school of the
Yeah.
Colony and then over here at Drive Nation. Who, is there anybody better that understands that world of high level basketball? For me, if I'm going to go pick up game, hey, I'm picking you first. It's Tremaine Martin from Austin Unbreakable, 17U, San Antonio Southwest. Phenomenal year for the Southwest Dragons to start with. But Tremaine is this guy. He's got this man. He can really explode to the basket. And for this Austin Unbreakable team, when they need a bucket, when they really need to get things going to the basket to create, Jermaine's going to have the ball in his hands. And that's what I saw this weekend. But I love how aggressive he was with the ball, because sometimes guards might be a little bit passive and want to get it to their bigs out on their stretch bigs or whatever shoot. But no, when he has the opportunity to go score, this dude is aggressive to go score it.
I love it. I'm going to go a little selfish here. I'm going to go Ian Setta, Dallas Mustang 17U Mansfield Summit. And why I said I'm going to go a little selfish here is when I started playing pickup, and as I got older and older and older, I stopped loving to defend and rebound and to do all these things. And that's if I'm playing with a guy, if I'm having to pick this guy up, Ian Setta's my guy because he would cover up all my mistakes. This guy, he would fall into the all-production team this weekend. He just rebounds the ball. He gets to the foul line. He scores blue-collar buckets. I wrote about him as a soccerizer in the Gasso Fast Break this week. I love Ian Setta. He is your Mansfield Summit type of guy. Tough, plays fast, guards, rebounds, does everything you need him to. A lot of things that translate to winning.
Yeah, I'm on the same lines as you here with Jaden Reed from 3D Team Business out of Arlington High School. You talk about a 6'6", 6'7" brute, a guy that's going to eat up space in the middle. When you go take the black court right there at the top, you're outside, you're playing, it's hot. You want this guy on your team because he's gonna bring a little bit extra every single time and maybe put the ball in your chest or something.
I love it.
And he's that kind of smash mouth big that 3D Team Business needs. I've talked a lot about their guards, and so him in the middle being able to rebound and kind of take command of that middle. It really is helpful for this team, and that's why I put him right here on my team.
I love it. I'm going to go with another 3D Team Business player, the guard from Waxahachie, Christian Brown. He was in fuego this weekend, knocking down shots left and right, and I just got to have a floor spacer in my shooting guard position, but also a floor spacer who rebounds, will guard, and is willing to get his hands dirty. But, man, he was shooting it this weekend. Very, very fun to watch that team thrive and play in a lot of great games.
For those of you that tuned into the GassoCast, Lyndon Cook talked about Keyshawn Miles, but I'm taking him here too because, and in my insight to him was just that he's undersized and maybe playing out of position a little bit for Flash Elite, but that's a guy that's going to go and get the work, put the work in, and it didn't matter how big the task was this weekend. He plays on Flash Elite 16s, and he's at Prosper Rock Hill, and he's just a guy that goes and understands that the basketball is the most important thing on the court. Whether it was getting some putbacks, some little bunnies around the rim on the offensive end. There was a couple times that he attacked and he almost threw one down that I was like, man, if that would have gone in, that would it even the miss brought the house down.
Yeah,
but he was having to guard 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", and he was doing. I think the flip side was those bigger players that he was playing against had to go guard him at 6'4", and he was causing a lot of problems. That wins you
Absolutely.
ball games.
Yeah, absolutely. Chase Campbell is going to be one of my wings. Southern Assault 16 from Friendship. The old adage, good offense can beat or great offense can beat good defense. But over the course of time, good defense is going to win out. And that's just what Chase Campbell does. He makes life miserable on guards. He makes them shoot tough shots. And if they go in, so what? Chase knows who's there. And I just loved the way he was scrappy, getting on the floor, right place, right time guy. There was a rebound. He'd come in, grab it and lay it up, and then be right there to guard the guard 90 feet. Really, really enjoyed watching Chase Campbell, a versatile defender. I know a two-sport stud of an athlete, but that's why I'm picking him on my team because I can't do that stuff. I could stand in a corner all day and shoot, but guard people, yeah, right.
Hey, I'm going to go back to back here so you can wrap it up once I'm done. But Jermaine O'Neal, this guy looks like if there was a ladder, it's like he's got this way of floating once he gets off the ground. That quick twitch of getting to level 1 and then getting to level 2 that nobody else can reach. That he is just getting second chance rebounds. He's getting going over the top of people to score. His ability to get by people on the wing to go finish. It's one of the best. And then I think that was the one thing that really stood out is the athleticism. And when you're in a pickup game, if you have somebody with some athleticism to go make some plays on both ends, whether it's to close out and block some shots or go in the other direction and go, some thunderous dunks, this Jermaine O'Neal. And then I'll wrap up my team with Beckham Black. And I think a lot of times when you're playing some pickup ball or something at the rec, you don't want to see a guy that just knows how to play the game of basketball. That's just so wound to know how to play. And I think that's Beckham. Beckham's going to control tempo. He's going to race you down the court when he has to. Then what does he do? He slows it down. He can do so many things and is so versatile that's the kind of guy you don't want to see on the basketball court because he usually is going to cause you trouble. And that's what he does out there on the court, whether he needs to be a scorer, whether he needs to be a distributor, whatever it takes. In defending, we've always put him at the top of the list of a guy that can go out there and move laterally and get and make stops. And that's what he consistently does. He knows how to compete. He knows how to win.
Yeah, I love watching Beckham. He's emotionless too. Like, things are going bad. He still kind of looks like he's under control. Things are going good. He's still under control. And then a quick tidbit on Jermaine O'Neal Jr. He dunked a ball like off an alley-oop, same side alley-oop. It was really, really impressive. And Blue just like looks at me and is like, "Oh my God, did you see how high and how fast he got up there?" And I said, "Yes." It was spectacular. So I get that athleticism thing. And I'm going to close out with Mari Wickware. Wing, forward, whatever you want him to be, he'll produce at it and be really, really good. That AB Elite team just had so much substance. When you get talked about sometimes and players get talked up ad nauseum, it's like, hey, this kid is going to be the best player, and they come to a game, it's like, they played okay. Mari Wickware delivered, and so did Beckham, and so did Dawson, so did all their players, but specifically Mari. He's just so productive. He rebounds the ball. He scores. The jump shot's looking good. I love him in transition. He's absolutely elite. Just a no-brainer guy to go out there and hoop and put pressure on you to kind of match with your athleticism, Blue. But thanks for joining us. This is a couple of hoops. We keep it light over here. Just me and Blue going back and forth. If you have any questions, jump in and ask us. We love this. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.